So this is the bookshelf you see in the majority of my videos. I normally have my chair here, and this is behind me. And so behind me we have the Poppy War trilogy. I really prefer these white covers, and I think they are stunning. I have not read them yet, but they are high on my want to reads for later this year. This is a deck of tarot cards and a tarot card holder. I guess I could show them to you really quickly. This is what they look like. They're just super colorful. And then the sides, I don't know if it shows on camera, but they're iridescent. And this is just some of them. This whole box has them. I'm trying to be better about doing tarot cards. I am very new to it. But they are what's out the top of the shelf. We have Throne of Glass, the old covers. We have not purchased the new covers, so these are all the old covers of Throne of Glass. I really like these covers, but at some point we probably will upgrade. It's just not a priority right now. These are my TBR jars that I made the paper super tiny. I don't know why. As you can see, the slits of the sheets of paper are very small. And then folded up, this is the pull from TBR jar. They're even smaller. I haven't been using these a lot lately as I kind of changed up my reading goals for the year, but it is here for when I need inspiration or help figuring out what to read. Okay, and then before we drop you down, I do want to highlight this drawing piece that my sister, who is an artist, did. She's been drawing since she was very small. This is pencil and I want to say charcoal, but it's all hand drawn by her. It's one of my favorite pieces of hers, and I wanted to have it in my bookish space. She is super talented and just a brilliant artist, and I cannot wait for her to at some point maybe open an artist space so I can show off all of her work. And we are back. So this third shelf is all the hardcovers of Red Rising. This is a new series for me that I am absolutely obsessed with. I love the covers, and I love how they fit perfectly on my shelf with my rock salt lamp that kind of fits the theme of Red Rising. We have Empire of the Vampire, Empire of the Damned, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and then it kicks off the rest of V.E. Schwab books that I own. Gallant, which this is a great read for spooky season. We have Darker Shades of Magic, Fragile Threads of Power, which is in the same world as Darker Shades of Magic. And then we have Vicious and Vengeful, and then this little mushroom light that is stunning. It's a little sparkly and purple. It was a birthday present a couple of birthdays ago from my sister's partner, and I just love it. I think it's so cute. Behind it sits One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. I can't see, but hopefully my foot is not in the way of this. This bottom shelf holds 2 rows of hardcovers just to keep them nice, and I don't have anywhere else to put them right now. So the front stack is, of course, we have Sarah J. Maas, we have Crescent City, the City of Brass trilogy that I have not read. I got it in February for my birthday. I hope to read it soon, but I'm not sure when yet. And then this is also a really pretty cover I got recently, The 13th Child. And then Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young, who is one of my favorite authors. This is Blood over Brighthaven. And then What the River Knows and Where the Library Hides, which is a duology. I believe these books are out of your way and you can see the back. But we have Blood and Ash and The Shadow in the Ember, all of the books that go with them. I am missing, I want to say 2 books that have come out that I have not read. As I put these on pause when I was reading Throne of Glass last year, and I have not finished them. I do need to get back into these. 2 or 3 that I need to read, and then 1 or 2 more that I need to pick up. There's so many books. I know they're not for everyone, but I do like them, so I almost want to do a reread at this point, but they're also really pretty. I love all of the covers. Like, look at them. I love them. Leah Bardugo's The Familiar, Once Upon a Broken Heart, This Ravenous Fate, which is a sapphic vampire series, vampire book set in New Orleans, and I want to say like the 1920s, 50s, somewhere in that time frame. We have Feybound, and then the rest of these are the Serpent and the Wings of Night series. That is these 4 books here. That's what's on the bottom shelf. A lot of vampires. Because this is all vampires, this is a vampire, and then these are all vampires. We're now going to move to what I'm sitting in front of, as there's more books on the ground over here. I can't really sit you lower though, so I think I'm just going to hold them and show them to you really quickly, and then we can go to my next shelf. I have been reading for over 5 years. Before that, my partner is also a reader, so some books mixed in could also be hers. We have Wicked Saints. I believe this has at least 1, if not 2 more books with it. I hear good things about it. I just haven't actually read it yet. Then we have Gilded Wolves. I thought this was a standalone for the longest time, and then I recently looked it up and saw there were more books now. But I know people really like this world. I just, again, haven't had time to pick it up yet. We have a paperback Red Rising before I got my beautiful hardcovers. One of my few physical romance books. While I do read romance, I mostly do it through Libby or my Kindle, but we have Wild Love. We have a little more romance with Flock, Exodus, and Finish Line. I love these books. I think they are appropriately hyped, and I really enjoy them. I enjoy book 1 and 2 more than book 3, but I do enjoy this world. Here is an example of books that aren't mine. I believe this is dystopian YA or apocalyptic. I'm not 100% sure. I believe they are pretty dark, and while I do like dark books, I'm not sure this is my type of dark, but my partner has read these. Now, this is my type of dark. This is Ninth House and Hellbent, and this is gothic academia with ghost and magic, set at Yale, I believe, if I remember correctly. Oh! Alright, and then we have these massive books. We have the Way of Kings books. I have the first 4. I don't have Wind and Truth. I have not read these yet. I have decided I want to start with Mistborn before getting into these, but I have them for when I'm ready to conquer these chunky mamas. This is an extra Sarah J. Maas book, as when the new cover came out, I got it, but this is how I originally read Silver Flames. I have 2 Outlander books. I love the world of Outlander. I love Claire and Jamie. I love the TV series. I have read the first book and part of book 2. I need to go back. Part of what makes these books great is also part of what makes it a little challenging for me, as Diana does a really great job of doing a lot of historical research as she's writing, which makes these really dense, but also really detailed. Oh, then we have 2 more very thick books. We have The Priory of the Orange Tree and The Day of Fallen Night, which are both beautiful. And as we can see, I started the first book. I do need to go back and finish the first book. It just was not holding my interest, and while it was really pretty, I don't know what I was expecting, but it's not what it is. And while I am enjoying it, I think it's slower than I thought it was going to be. And it seems more of like a beautiful writing journey as opposed to go, go, go. It seems more of like a very slow process that will be beautiful at the end. And that wasn't what I was looking for when I picked it up originally. I have the first 2 books of The Faithful and the Fallen that I'm supposed to read later this year. We have book 1 and book 2, and I'm very excited to read these, even though they look very dense. And then I have the first book in his other trilogy, which is the Bloodsworn Saga, and I'm also very excited to read this. Maybe more so just because of the covers. And then we have my partner's very beloved, very used Aragon and Eldest. This is a 2-in-1 book, but she loves this book and world, and I love the cover, even though you can see it's very well read. We have the first book of The Mask of Mirrors. I am excited to read this. I know it is 3 books, but I only have the first one. And then last up, we have Gideon the Ninth, Harrow the Ninth, and Nona the Ninth. I have read the first book, but not the other 2. It was harder for me to read as a reader, as Gideon didn't really know what was going on the majority of the book, so I didn't know what was going on the majority of the book. And also feeling kind of a little bit like a slog in the middle. I love a good mystery, but it just kind of was a little slow. Do you love that as this video has gone on, I get yappier instead of shorter, knowing how many other books we have to go through? Yeah, me too. Why don't I show you my assistant who is helping me today? Hello, I'm just going to film this with you seeing the books, as this height is ideal for the books, but not my 5'9" height. Okay, so these are all of my health and spiritual or crystal type books, or In the Flow, Moon Bath, which is for putting different herbs in your bath. We have books like Untamed by Glennon Doyle that I have read 2 or 3 times and love more each time. We have Becoming Supernatural. This is also one of my favorite books. It is human design. I love human design and getting to know more about how we work and how your loved ones work. I am a generator. This is more on health and juicing or certain food for certain issues that you might be having. And then down on this end, we have the Crystal Encyclopedia, which is just stunning. I can show you some. If I had a coffee table, this would be a coffee table book, but until I have a coffee table, I keep it here. Okay, and then these are just big books. These are the Harry Potter illustration books. This is a Greek mythology book. These are 2 different Aragon illustrations / pop-up books, because again, she loves Aragon. The Harry Potter. I don't support J.K. Rowling and her beliefs. These were bought several years ago, and the Harry Potter books that we do have, we've had for a decade. And I try to use my page to talk about other authors, as you have never seen a Harry Potter video on my page. I thought I would just show y'all. Up here we have puzzle books or mystery books, and then these are just some journal books that I have. Here are more crystals hanging. I haven't put any essential oils or small knickknacks in this shelf yet, as we just put this room together recently for my YouTube space. But I will be putting oils and things in there soon. An incense burner, just a protection candle. We have my little crystal triangle. And then this is a singing bowl. Welcome to my main bookcase in the main part of our house. When you say, Jules, why haven't you filmed a bookshelf tour yet? This hunky mama is a why. Okay, she has 5 shelves and they're all fully loaded and double stacked. At some point, we are hoping to have an actual library space with nice shelves, but until we get to that point, she is holding the bulk of our books outside of the few I want to showcase and rotate through my filming space. This is going to be a labor of love for you guys. I'm going to show you all the ones on the front and then take them off and show you all the ones in the back by pulling them forward. I know it's not the best light in here. It's also cloudy today, but I'm hopeful that you can see them. I'll also say what everything is. Here we go. Okay, so we have the ACOTAR series, of course, a classic. And this is what I meant by getting the book in paperback when it came out, and why I have 2 of Silver Flames. This book is one that my sister, who is an artist, she designed the cover for one of her professors. He asked her, he was coming out with a book, and so it's his book, but her art is on the book. Then we have Naomi Novak, and we have His Majesty's Dragons, the first 4, and then Deadly Education, the trilogy. Out of these books, I have only read Deadly Education, and the monologuiness of it was just okay for me. I don't know if I'll finish the series. It's really not high on my list. My partner liked it though, so she's read book 1 and 2 and needs to read book 3. I think she also wanted the Dragon series, which I also might try, as I hear that it is good. Strange Beast. This was published by Bindery Books, other bookish creators, to help us publish authors that otherwise might not get published. But I also hear great things about the book. It's supposed to be a Sherlock Holmes retelling with a sapphic love story. And then we have the series I never shut up about, which is Daughter of Smoke and Bone. And then beside that is Caraval, which to me was just okay. I think if I had read it sooner in my reading journey, I would have enjoyed it a whole lot more. We have the first 5 books of the Zodiac Academy, and these are the OG covers. They don't make them like this anymore. Let me show you what I mean. They're the old black matte. They're that cover that feels good as far as like a soft cover. This was before they were republished. Then we have the first book in Dark Fae, which is part of the Zodiac world, but not part of the original series. I've read the first book of the Zodiac Academy, and that's it. My partner has read 4 or 5 or 6 of the books. She's read a lot more than me. Broken Blade, which was given to me for my birthday, and I'm very excited to read it. I believe there are 3 other books, so 4 total. I believe the author is First American, and the book is about First Americans. And I know I don't look it, but I am Chickasaw, or First American. I want to read this series. Then we have the Ember and the Ashes series that I got for my birthday. I have not started it yet, but I love these covers. Beside it, we have House of Bane and Blood, All of Us Villains, All of Our Demise, which is a duology, These Twisted Bonds, These Hollow Vows. Sorry, I'm trying to film this, but I'm a left-handed girly, and I feel like doing it this way, I'm like blocking my body from y'all. So let me try being on the other side. I was making that so much harder. Fable and Namesake. So we have Graceling, Fire, and Bitter Blue, The Veiled Kingdom. I just have the first book. I got it for Christmas. This is another duology that my partner got. Cersei's War, Ironheart, When the Moon Hatched, Sword of Kaigen, and then I have the first 4 books of The Blood of Elves, which is the Witcher series. We've also watched the show, and I want to say she's played the game, being a gamer, but I haven't played the game. I haven't read the books either. All I've done is watch the show. Shadow and Bone, and 6 of Crows, and then the duology after 6 of Crows. More of like the classics if you grew up in the 2000s and the 90s as a millennial baby. The Marked series, The House of Night. This was a classic that everyone read. I have not read it. Okay. This is one of my partner's series that she had when we got together that I'd love to read at some point. All of these books, that's what this is. The Crave series. Both my partner and I didn't really like these. They were just okay, so we're probably not going to keep reading them. Born at Midnight, which is by C.C. Hunter, a Shadow Falls series. I read these. These were some of the first books that got me back into reading before I read ACOTAR and really took off with my reading journey. I really enjoyed this. It was a YA supernatural school. So all of these are that series. Fallen series, that again, this cover, everything. We all know this cover. So that is these books right here. 2 books my partner got. I don't really know much about them. Last on this shelf is The Night and Its Moon by Piper C.J. I hear mixed things about this book. I got it as a Christmas gift a couple years ago. More classics. So Twilight. Of course, when Midnight Sun came out, which was Edward's point of view, we had to get 2 books so we could both read it at the same time. The Hunger Games. This is also my partner. She finds the weird 90s, 2000s books that I haven't read, wasn't able to read, but she wants, we have them. This that builds the like Hogwarts house, and then these two. This is all Harry Potter, and the covers for these are really cool. I like how when spines make a design, and then the covers themselves are really pretty. The front and the back of the books. The Wicked trilogy, I know people talk about this. I've seen it a little bit, even since I've joined the bookish community. Game of Thrones, and then George R. Martin, Fire and Blood, which this is what House of the Dragon is based off of. It's in this book. This is the first 4 books in the Outlander series. I have these 2 as big books that you saw earlier. She has more than these 4. But I personally only own the first 4. This is Mistborn series as pocketbooks. And then this is the rest of Aragon, which you saw how loved that was from my partner. And so this is the rest of his work. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, which is also Christopher. We have the Divergent series here at the top. Welcome to the floor with me. So we have Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves. We have the Belladonna series. We have Ravel, which is a stunning. I read this with the Crow Club and had a really great time. The Coven and the Cursed, book 1 and book 2. Legendborn, Bloodmarked, Babel or Babel, Atlas 6, Fourth Wing series, Nightbirds, Bring Me Your Midnight, and you can't really see it, but beside that is Powerless. Down here is more of a hodgepodge of books we've just kind of had for a long time, and I don't know if they'll stay with us forever, but they're here right now. I grew up in a very religious cult and could only read very strict certain books. All of it had to be by Christian authors or Christian books. Bought at like Mardell's or a Christian bookstore and had to relate to Jesus and God in some way. Most of those books I don't have anymore. There is the Ted Dekker books, The Circle, and I have book 1 and book 2. I remember liking them. I don't remember it being super religious, so I've kept them. Adam, which is also by Ted Dekker, Think and Grow Rich, The Effortless Experience, Start With Why, Bossy Pants. This is Chasers of Light, which is poems. My partner likes books like that. So yeah, we just have more random books down here. I have the first 2 books of You, which is now the TV show on Netflix. I have the Discovery of Witches trilogy, the Left Behind series, which is like if Jesus came back and you were left behind. My partner finds these really interesting, not really the religious aspect, just more like the dystopian aspect. This is the Uglies series right here. I'm gonna get a drink of water. I'm going to take all of these books down, and then I will be back with part 2 of this giant bookcase. Are you still with me? Hello. The dogs have been very good, as this has taken quite the time to film, and they're getting restless. Hello. Hold, please. Okay. I don't know if you can see her, but Bricky's sat right here in front. So if you see her or her ears, hopefully that's not too distracting and we can still see the books. You know, I don't feel like I have that many books until I do something like this. And then I realize I have quite a few. Bottom shelf, again, is mostly hodgepodge and things that I might not use or be that interested in, but I think someone at some point might, and I'm just not quite ready to part with. Book on Lincoln, The Help, A Little House on the Prairie books. The books that Rose wrote. I used to have all of the books, and it was something that we as a family would read because it was approved reading. I have dwindled it down to just these. Little House on the Prairie, y'all. And then keeping with the theme, we have Charlotte's Web. We have the Addams Family. These are Laura Ingalls Wilder books from Laura Ingalls. These are this little section. These are also kind of dusty because, again, I don't look at them. Ted Dekker, 3. C.S. Lewis, the Screw Tape Letters. So C.S. Lewis, y'all. The Hobbit. Yes, it does not deserve to be down here. Then we have Admission, Two-Way Street. This was a different world for me. So then we have the historical book Fever. This book I freaking love. It is so cute. It's All My Friends Are Dead. If you have not read this, I can read this to you sometime. It's just a short little story, but this is so fun. Then I have The Ultimate Gift, The Jungle Book, Radical Candor, which was a workbook that was given to me. This is more classical, mythological. Let's move on from cringy past and to this gorgeous shelf. This is all, can you see it? Cassandra freaking Clare. This whole shelf. People don't know how much Cassandra Clare we really have. We probably have more books from her than any other author besides, I don't know, Sarah J. Maas maybe. And they're all about the same world. That's the other thing. I wasn't able to read these growing up for obvious reasons because I couldn't read anything with magic. And I haven't read all of them now, but my partner has read almost all of them. It is the Shadow Hunter series following a group of children. They're in like a school, but it's a school for learning how to unalive demons, and they hunt demons in our world. And so there's like a veil to the other world that we as humans can't see that they can see. Warlocks and witches. City of Bones, this original series, this cork right here. I have read at least 4 or 5 of the books years and years ago. Intermission, y'all. Hello? I decided when I do conquer this massive catalog, I want to do it in timeline order and not like publisher order. You can't have the mic. Like earlier on, and it's like the parents of the kids in this world, and then some of them are after the kids in this world, I want to say. This is the Clockwork Angel trilogy, which people talk about and like. And then there's the Bane Chronicles. These are some of the prettiest books. They're gorgeous. These are what the original covers look like before they changed them, and you can see they even went together. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for being here. We ran the marathon. We have finished. These are the books that I own.